Welcome to another episode of AI Talks with Chris and Nita. Today, we're taking your sources and really unpacking two fundamental ways data gets processed: batch and stream processing. I mean, think about it, right? How does your bank flag a weird transaction instantly? But then your paycheck, that lands predictably on schedule.
Exactly. Two very different needs, two very different approaches to handling information.
And getting your head around these is, well, it's pretty key to understanding so much of the digital stuff around us.
True.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's maybe start with the old reliable batch processing.
The workhorse. Yeah.
Right, so batch processing. The basic idea is you collect a whole load of data over time,
Could be hours, could be a day.
and then you process it all together in one big chunk.
Right. It's not for situations where you need an answer, like right now.
So how does that actually work, typically?
Well, data gets gathered up. Often there's this ETL step, extract, transform, load.
Yeah, cleaning it up, getting it ready.
Exactly. You structure it, store it, and then maybe once a day or when you hit a certain volume, boom, the computation runs on that whole set.
Okay, so like those big end-of-day reports or maybe payroll.
Payroll is a classic example. Generating monthly bills, massive data analysis jobs. That's its sweet spot.
Makes sense.
And what's kind of cool is how essential it still is. You hear real time everywhere, but batch is incredibly efficient for looking back, for scheduled stuff. You pool the data, run the job when systems aren't busy, saves a lot on compute power.
Or cost, yeah.
And you get solid data integrity because you're working with a complete static data set for that specific calculation.
Okay, so efficient, good for historical data, scheduled tasks. Got it.
Mm.
But like we said, sometimes you do need that instant feedback. Milliseconds matter.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to stream processing.
This sounds faster.
Oh yeah, worlds apart in terms of speed. Here we're talking about data flowing in constantly.
Like a river, not a reservoir. Exactly. A continuous stream. And it gets processed as it arrives. So, very close to it. Milliseconds, maybe seconds.
Instant insights, basically.
That's the goal. Proactive responses.
So what's the big shift here compared to batch? What makes it tick differently?
Well, the data itself is seen as like this endless flow of events, little pieces of information arriving one after another. You don't wait to collect a batch. It hits a pipeline, often using something called event-driven architecture, and bam, it's processed.
On the fly.
Pretty much, yeah. Computation happens right then and there on each event, or maybe small windows of events.
Okay, and the use cases. You mentioned fraud detection.
Definitely. Financial fraud you have to know now, not tomorrow. Real-time dashboards showing live system health.
Or like website analytics, seeing clicks happen live.
Perfect example. IoT sensor data, think monitoring factory equipment or environmental conditions. And those recommendation engines.
Yes, the slightly creepy ones that know what I want before I do.
Hey, yeah, that's stream processing working behind the scenes. It's all about reacting as things happen, sometimes before a human even notices.
So it sounds like you need both, really. It's not batch versus stream.
That's a really good point. It's rarely an either decision, more like which tool for which part of the job.
Right.
You got to look at the business need. How fast do you really need the answer? What kind of consistency does the data need? And honestly, cost is a big factor.
How so?
Batch tends to be cheaper for massive, non-urgent stuff. High throughput, handles complexity well when you have the whole picture. Stream processing, it gives you that low latency, that immediate reaction. But keeping those systems running, always ready, that can cost more, infrastructure-wise.
So you might use stream for an alert.
Right, like an immediate system alert.
Okay.
But then you might take all those alerts from the day, bundle them up, and run a batch job overnight for a detailed compliance report.
Okay. Mixing and matching.
Exactly, aligning the processing paradigm with the actual task.
So pulling this all together for you listening, what this means is that everything from that instant notification on your phone to your monthly bank statement arriving, there's a conscious choice behind it about how the data was handled, batch or stream, or maybe both.
It's definitely not one size fits all.
Yeah, maybe something to think about.
Yeah, consider all the systems you touch every day. Your banking app, yeah, but also maybe traffic light coordination systems, online shopping carts reacting to your clicks. How do you think that choice batch versus stream actually affects your experience? Or even, your safety sometimes?
That's a great question to ponder, something to keep in mind next time you get an instant update or wait for that daily report. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Keep that curiosity flowing.